For Midsummer Scream 2022, I decided to do a gremlin themed house for their entryway to the Hall of Shadows. This was my little tiny house, how it was supposed to look. So this is where our house would be on the block, along with other CalHaunt members' houses. We each got together and built a little house, making the Midsummer Estates. So we had to start with their house. Now we have used this house before in a couple of our haunts. This was supposed to happen in 2020, but because of the pandemic, it got canceled, Midsummer Scream, a few years in a row. So we finally got to use this house after so many years of having it in storage and in our garage and in our way. So we rebuilt the house, and there's the roof. And after it was built, we decided to give it a little test. And like always, my dog, Mr. Max, thinks we build everything for him and it's a brand new doghouse. So here's the roof. It's taken apart and put on the ground so I can easily paint the fake tiles. Of course, it was 100 degrees and it was hot, so I had to put some shade cloth up above the roof. So once it was time to paint this, I decided to do it really fast and easy by using sponges and just dipping them in the paint and just going over and over and over again with those roofs, just to give it a tile look and to make it go fast. Now, it's going to be dark in the Hall of Shadows, so I wasn't really worried of how it was going to look. Up close, I mean. Once I was finished with the roof, I had to finish the facade, which was made with foam, and I was just going to make it look like a wooden facade of the front of a house. So it would be also very light when it was time to put it up. That roof, we didn't want it too heavy. We wanted it light, and I did the best I could. It would hang over the door, and we were going to mount a light underneath there on that wood part right there. Once we put the house together, I needed to paint the back side of the house. So I was getting ready to do that, and I decided to paint it just with a nice gray color. So I got up nice and early here on July 3rd, and we are going to make the fountain for my Midsummer Scream house. And this is all the products I kind of got to create this. The only problem is I'm still suffering an injury, and kind of horrified to use that glue gun again. Anyways, it's going to look really cool when I'm done, I'm pretty sure, no matter what, no matter how I do it. So, wish me luck. Because it's a real fountain, it had these really cool spots where you can plug in the electrical cords and the pumps and stuff to plug things in. So I utilized that to hide all the cords. That way, when it's time to plug in the lights to make it look really special, it would work amazing. So here's Stripe just hanging out on the fountain, and it's time for me to start decorating it. Was use painter's plastic for, you lay it down to protect your house when you're painting. And then these are those LED string lights. I'm still not done with this. And then we're going to put the bubbles on top of it like this. And see how that looks. I'm going to use cellophane to make it look like water coming down. And I'm going to wrap it around these lights and down the sides. You could get these Dollar Tree clear Christmas bulbs, plastic, and these really cool lights. So I filled up the fountain with those, and I'm just going to plug in those lights. They're little projection lights that give a really cool effect, and they're kind of hiding in there with the bulb. So you can see I have that extension cord right there, and I'm just going to plug it right in there. Then the cellophane part, just to have it look like it's water running through, because we couldn't have water at the convention center. That is my way of adding that cool effect. And I even put little lights in there. Right, for the most part, he is done for the day. And what I need to do is test the lights tonight. And that is him. Can't wait to see what it looks like tonight. And it's gonna have
stuff on the ground. There's going to be flowers and stuff, but he's going to have a soap suds box in his hand or on the ground, something to give you the idea of why the fountain's all bubbly. They put soap in it. And that was my way of doing a fountain without using water. So this is a basic idea of what it's going to look like. I don't have the right settings on those lights. Of course, they're flashing and dimming, and I think it's just going through the entire motion of what they can do. One of the lights, I didn't have it plugged in all the way, so I have to fix that. But you get an idea of how it's going to look, and I think in front of the house, it's all going to come together really nicely. The next step is to actually film our gremlin scenes. The biggest part about our gremlin house was the theme is the gremlins are destroying the house. They're egging it, toilet papering it. They're inside the house wrecking havoc. So we did a custom show where we filmed it. There I am in a blue suit behind a blue screen. We don't need to see that. And we custom made this whole show for you. And we were so excited how it turned out.
Oh no, there's two. He magically appear. It looks like a Jim Henson's puppet show. Me?
It has to be me because you're in blue.
Oh. That's great.
Shoot, sorry, I didn't review that.
My son worked on a few different animations of making the gremlin jump up here and then hold on to the light. And then the other animation of it swinging back and forth. He made their little arms and legs move. And then when he swings off the lamp, he just kind of crashes off to the side, which then later I added all the sound effects to that. So while my son was working on the animation, I decided to go ahead and map out the window from the gremlin house outside, and then it was so hot I did a test inside. So it is a total projection mapping custom show. The really important things to note here is exactly how far away it's going to be from my wall. So I need to write that down so when I set this up, it's perfectly set here. And make sure it's exactly in the same spot. This little, I don't know what you call this thing, wooden table that I had actually fits absolutely perfect. And it actually protects it from people from bumping into it. I'm going to put cones on either side. That way it doesn't get moved or bumped. It's actually works amazing. And these shadows for me doesn't matter because that's going to be on the house. So all I care about is that middle part. And it's perfect. So that's all I need for this project right now. Here's the test. Yep, he goes off screen fine. He comes on. That was kind of funny though. He comes on screen okay. He fits in the window. It's okay if it's over a little bit.
I can make it perfect if you want.
This is perfect. I mean, we have a lot to do still.
Yeah, well, of course.
There it is. All right, first test of the gremlin house. Now it's still covered, it's not finished, but this is just a test. We don't have audio on right now, but what I did is I went into my own editing software and downloaded and recorded and did all our own audio. So it is a complete custom job. And that you will have to see at Midsummer Scream or the next video. All right, the roof was done, the facade of it, and it was time to install it. So we went ahead and installed it up there, as you can see, and we also installed the plexiglass on the back of the side of the house. That worked out amazing. So this way I can glue those fake eggs on there. No one will mess with the curtains. The projection will look good. It looks like glass. This part was our light. So I had to make a custom light. I wanted it to have kind of a vintage vibe to it. So we cut a hole and then I mounted a light where that will be. It's actually a bowl, and I'll show you that later, but excuse the middle finger there. That's pretty much what that will look like in the dark. So this is the light. I just used foam and a bowl that I frosted with paint, and I added some details to it, and later I painted that white. We even brought a fire hydrant, a real fire hydrant. Yeah. Well, then it was time to load the truck, so we went ahead and loaded it all up in the back of my little Honda Ridgeline. It's a little truck, but it can do big things, so it's amazing. I really do love my truck. So in the back of it, I loaded the fire hydrant, the fountain, about 5 different boxes, all the decorations, the pumpkins, the eggs, everything I needed, the projector, tools, oh my gosh, everything. And we were ready to head out to Midsummer Scream. We're actually taking our RV. I'm following in the truck, and we're going to be all set. So thanks for watching this video on kind of the behind the scenes of our house. If you want to go ahead and watch the next video, that's going to be us building it and what it's going to look like at Midsummer Scream when it's completely finished. So if you happen to go to Midsummer Scream, you'll see this. And if you don't, you get to see it in the video. So thanks for watching, and super excited to get this all finished.